sometimes custom sneaker jobs take so long. There's design planning, the mock-up, surface preparation, buying materials, painting, spraying, drying, airbrushing, clear coating. Because of this, it's super important that you're able to see when you are making some kind of progress. But what is it like when you're moving forward at half of that pace because you're doing 2 pairs at once? Why would any sane person do this? Well, first off, I never said that I was sane. But jokes aside, I have no idea what this is going to be like. Let's give it a bash and see how it goes. Both of these pairs that I'm going to be working today are gifts. One is between 2 friends who are absolutely crazy about BTS and nuts about Korea. The other is a gift from my wife Leah, who's absolutely nuts about adventure. And in true That Mad Artist fashion, I created a beautiful mock-up for this BTS pair. But to add some tension, I decided not to plan the pair for Leah. Totally because I planned not to have a plan, and I wasn't just winging it because I ran out of time. By the way, this was my absolute first time ever working on Vans. I've always loved the look of Vans, and some people do some crazy amazing work on this size of canvas, and I've always wanted to give it a go. So this is going to be my first time trying. I'm probably going to learn a whole bunch, but if this looks fun to you guys and you really want a full-on in-depth deep dive on exactly how to customize Vans slip-ons, let me know in the comments down below, and I'll be sure to make a video detailing everything that I've learned and do a special pair just for you guys. Anyway, let's get to it. So I remembered that when painting fabric, my paint is going to soak straight into the surface of the shoe, and that's just what happens when using a fabric medium. But if you use enough coats, you can eventually get the paint to saturate the surface, give you a better surface to paint on. So I'm going to give both shoes a white base coat with paint and fabric medium mix. I think this really is going to help a lot. After taping up and all that fun stuff, the first exciting part was to create the gradients on the Vans. You would think it would be that simple! Man, I love what airbrushing looks like. But I've never wanted to pull my hair out and punch a wall so bad in my life. Why? After literally going out and buying a new airbrush, I finally got to the good part. Doing the radial pink to purple fade on the one side of the shoe, and then a gradual toe to heel fade on the other. This is like 6 individual colors. I'm actually really proud of this. It came out really awesome despite the frustrations. For the Adidas shoes, I wanted to go for a pink sunset glow on the horizon, fading into a starry sky, or at least that's what I came up with in the moment. So I laid the pink all the way around, and then I went in with purple along the eyelets to try and blend the colors together. So far, I think it's looking pretty great, but I do want a little bit more of a vignette, so I'm going to add some blue and black to the mix. And I'm going to do the exact same thing on the Adidas shoes. I think they're really coming along together now. This heel tab is one of the few places where I'm actually going to color block. So what that means is I'm just going to take a paintbrush and I'm going to make a solid color all the way around those heel blocks. Now, I've decided I can paint pretty much everything on top of this base coat, but to create a solid base and preserve the white to save myself some time, I'm going to make a little masking tape mask for the whatever the heck this little thing is. Okay, it looks like a little ambient wand. So I'm going to use my tablet and make these masks by hand. I've actually got a great little tutorial in another video that you can find in the link below that'll teach you how to do this very helpful technique. I use it all the time. So I'm going to lay down the mask. In order to make sure that the mask goes in the right position, I'm going to use the negative of my little mask. I want the gradient to stay inside the weird globe thing. So I'm going to mask off that area and lay down a grey base coat on the handle and the hands. It looks like it bled through a little bit, but that's okay. I should be able to cover that up. Then with the airbrush, give the globe a little bit of a vignette, and then using my super secret airbrush technique, I'm going to spray some stars onto these Adidas shoes, and I'm going to do the same thing on the Vans. Now let's just take this mask off, and these are coming across quite nicely. But I don't know about you, my favorite part about customizing is not the masking and the taping and the spraying. I like the hand painting. and I'm really going to enjoy painting this. So I'm going to add some space here for some space whales. I'm going to come back to those at a later time. Now I really want to get into the details of this globe thingy. Okay, let's see. We've got the gray handle. I want to mark some shadows. I want to paint the cap. Paint 1, 2, 3, 7 little gray dudes. I guess these are the BTS boys. I'm gonna give them some sand to stand on, some more shadows on the handle, some skin color, a little bit more skin color, some skin shadows, some nails, some highlights, some skin highlights, a pink cloud, an orange cloud, a purple cloud, little dude outlines, finger outlines, cross hatching, little dude details, shadows. Then I'm gonna do the BTS logo freehand in the sky in front of them. I'm definitely getting some kind of otherworldly vibes here, but I mean, what gave that away, huh? Maybe the space whales? Oh yes, more on those. Those were simple enough. I wanted to make them look kind of ethereal, so I decided to make them all blotchy, like they were made out of sparkly space matter or something. Oh yes, the BTS shrine needs some white. Let's add that in there. Then I'm gonna add some kind of like little shooting star path and a star. Can actually give that a glow later with an airbrush and that'll look great. Back on the Adidas, I'm going to add some mountains in the foreground up against that sunset glow. Just simple vectorized black, and then adding the white snowy peaks. I actually really got into this so much, like I was listening to some music and it got a little bit out of control. Over on the other Vans shoes, decided to go for something quite simple on this pair. Basically just stars, a similar kind of shooting star path, and the BTS logo. And then on the tongue of the Adidas, I had the brilliant idea to throw in the Aurora Borealis and a mountain reflecting an icy cold lake. Pretty unique color combinations, right? I mean, I think they go. What do you think? And the purple and the blue, quite nice. Wow, and now this was a special request. I decided to do some butterflies on the outstep in the middle of each of these Vans shoes. While they're simple enough, they took quite a bit of time. And now for my favorite part. This is the thing that takes customs from being good to excellent. And that is glowing things. So using some white in the airbrush, I'm going to choose some of the bigger stars and give them a light little halo, adding the glow in wherever I can. Now, I've done this wrong before. You don't want to do too much. Alright, now, removing the tape. I have no idea how people on TikTok get such smooth footage of removing the tape. Mine always tears. Anyway, one day when I get it right, it'll be super satisfying for all of us. Oh, and here they are. As I'm recording this, I think these came out just as cool, or maybe even cooler than the other BTS ones that we did. I'll put them here side by side. Which ones do you think came out better? Oh, I definitely don't recommend working on two pairs at the exact same time. It's really so important to the process of customizing to actually see your project and know that you're moving forward. This was quite an experience, so don't be crazy like me. Thanks for hanging out and watching my video. Before you go, don't you want to watch this video of me dunking my shoes in coffee?